So I'm going to give you a tour of my Slime Rancher ranch. I thought that it would be quite nice to do, given that I think people enjoyed looking at what I'd done in Subnautica, and I've reached a point with my Slime Rancher setup where I'm actually quite pleased with it. So I will drag you around as if this were a real estate tour. This is the entrance, and I've been decorating it with these little lamps that you can manufacture. By the way, there will be not exactly spoilers because it's not a game in that vein, but they're spoilers for things that you can find and build, and that's a lot of the delight of the game. So if you're thinking of playing it, I would maybe come back to this after you've done so, because I will show you slimes and things that you find later in the game, including these lamps. But with that caveat in mind, we will get going. So yeah, this is the one that I made most recently, and it's got a little slime in. So cute. I really like them, except the cocoa coloured one is really dull compared to these. Like the light just doesn't glow in the same way, which is a shame, because it would be really cool to have that option. I could replace it for one of the others, but I don't know, I'm kind of fond of it, but it does look like the light isn't working properly if you see it in the dark. I also used these, which are little glowing, they're called echoes, and you find them later in the game, and they're these motes of light that you can suck up when you find them in the game and then spit them out elsewhere to, you know, just to decorate a space. So I've tried to use them to, oh, slow down, to zhuzh up my farm. The only thing is, obviously, if you try and put too many in, the game freaks out and starts to chug a little bit, so you have to be judicious with their use. This is the grey one. See, the grey one works, so I wish this one did. Okie dokie. So this is what you see when you come in. This is a little toy manufacturing station so that you can create things to keep your slimes happy. These have a rock and a beach ball, so hopefully they're quite chill. These are big slimes that are made, they're called Largo slimes, and you make them by feeding a poop from one species to a different species. And so these are based on the pink and the blue rocky ones, and they poop out both kinds of poop. There's a slight discrepancy. They actually produce both at equal rates, but I have been needing more of the pink ones for my projects, so the blue ones have built up. This is for, it's quite grim because I'm, you know, feeding some of them meat, and so this is for breeding lunches for slimes. I love the painted chickens so much. These are the roosters, and you have to keep roosters with the hens, otherwise they don't produce chicks. But eventually the hens and roosters get old, so if the chicks that they've produced haven't produced any replacement roosters, you have to go out and find more, because they're slightly rarer than the hens. Let's have a look. So I'll take you over here first, because this is where I expanded, and it has my favourite slimes. So these are puddle slimes, and they live in water. If you take them out for too long, then they die, or well, they evaporate. And they produce these puddle poops, puddle plorts, and they love playing with their rubber duckies, and it's just the cutest thing. They kind of nuzzle against them and just seem to have a really nice time. You can't actually feed these, they just produce their poops if you leave them alone in water, but and you can't use these to hybridize with other with other slimes as far as I've tried, and it hasn't worked, so unless I'm missing something obvious. What else is around here? So a lot of these wild hens spawn in this general area, so it's quite a useful place if you have a lot of meat-eating creatures rather, because you can scoop up a handful of these that the game generates. So these, this is a growing plot, and I've been using it for silver parsnips, which you find a lot later in the game. This is what I mean about spoilers. They're not story spoilers, but you know, I was so pleased to find these. It was so exciting. And you can also tart up your garden plots and things by adding these sprinkler systems. You can sort of have nutrient-rich soil so that you get more crops. You can use the scarer thing, which looks like one of the evil slimes that you can sometimes get in the game. But it doesn't seem to be deterring this one, so, you know, come on, out, off. You also, this is where you find the crops to begin with. They're just outgrowing in these little patches in the world. Hello, Scoop you. Ah, yeah, and that was just the world plonking more into existence because I've scooped up all of the current resources. So let's go and see, because yeah, so these, they are so cute. These are Tangle slimes crossbred with the pink slimes. It was useful to do because the Tangle slimes eat meat and the pink slimes eat everything, so by merging them I can now just make my own life easier by making their diet less restrictive. And also they produce more of the pink poops, which I need for, like I say, my projects. They have an auto feeder here, which I put all those carrots into, and it's been spitting them out at regular intervals just to keep these happy and producing more poop. But it's still going slightly quicker than they are eating them. So either I could just, you know, leave them to it and hope that they eat the carrots before they go off, or I could put more slimes in the pen and, you know, that would alter the balance in that direction. So there's more stuff down here. It's more of the same, like those growing pens, and there's a little waterfall that has, I'll show you that because it's got more of my favourite puddle slimes with their little rubber ducks. So I put those in there. Look! So cute! But if you move the duck, they try and follow it, so yeah. So cute! So I'll gather up these carrots. Yep. I can only carry, well, I've upgraded my little tanks where you can see it stores different varieties of thing in your vacuum pack thing. And now they can hold up to 50 of a particular thing. You can't actually fill them with the same thing, so I couldn't collect 4 lots of 50 carrots. It's that they have to be different. I think there may be more upgrades on that front, but I've slowed down in terms of actually pursuing that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm going to... so you see, this one is really hungry. You can tell it by this sad face. So I'm just going to feed them directly, rather than rely on the feeder. But you can see that they are producing these poops that then get sucked into the thingamy. There you go. Have a moderate spattering of carrots. This thing is a kind of a little marketplace where I could deposit 3 lemons and 4 parsnips, and then I would get a different set of resources. So here it's giving these particular resources and getting this in return, which would be useful perhaps if I didn't have another way of getting all of that stuff. It's become less useful as time has gone on, but I do keep an eye on it just in case. These are combinations of boom and radiation, rad slimes. So the rad ones, they're actually like a green variation of the pink one, but with this radiation thing, aura around them, field, and if you stand too close to them you get irradiated, which is obviously not a positive. They also, but the boom ones are what's giving them their colouring, and they can get agitated and start sort of setting off explosions, as you see, which is sometimes a bit of a pain and can affect their housing, and so they can sometimes get out if you don't take that into consideration. Meat and fruit. Okay, so I can feed hens to these. They are combinations of tabbies and phosphors, and the tabbies you can sort of tell they've got these tails there and ears. They're basically cats, and the phosphor stuff is more like having fireflies. So they've got these glowing tummies and they're purple and they can fly a little. And I put a little night light in for them to play with because that's one of their favourite toys. So and you can see that the plorts are pretty easy to pass in terms of which thing that they come from. Some are a bit harder, a bit more ambiguous, and I think might be particularly awkward if you have a form of colour blindness, just because I think on first glance those basic shapes would seem quite similar because of the colours that they use. I'll show you when I go to the little market I will feed. So these are combination, so you can start to see that it's a bit more useful to hybridize them. Hybridize the slimes rather than have a pen for each different kind. Just it saves on space, it saves on having to refill millions of different food things. It's essentially just an efficiency thing. So these are mosaic slimes crossed with crystal slimes, and so you can see that the mosaic ones have this kind of polygonal sheen, like rainbow sheen with these little surfaces, facets on them, and then the crystal bits are obviously the little horns and things, and the fact that they leave these crystal deposits as they go. The glows, the little stars are there from the mosaic ones. Let's see, these also have a well, all of the slimes have favourite foods, and this one, I can't remember which one it is of the two that it's hybridized, but you can see I've just fed it the silver parsnips that it really likes, and there was a heart, and I think it tends to produce more poops off the back of that, so it's also just a way of, if you pay attention to that, you can do a bit more on the efficiency side of things. Over here you can see the grotto area that I opened up. So the glowing in the dark slimes actually disappear if you leave them in daylight, so out there I've had to put a little canopy solar shield over the pen, but in here I don't need to, so that can be a money saving endeavour if you are interested in that. Yeah, so cute. The fire bombs that they're letting off, that's something that the mosaic slimes do, so you just need to be a bit careful of that, because otherwise sometimes you can get a bit damaged. Okay. Just going to scoop out a bunch of poops. Lovely. This is a silo where I can keep resources if I need to. I haven't been using them, to be honest. I've just been either selling things or putting them into my refinery. This is a little portal that I can use to put things in the refinery, and that's where you generate things like science projects, so for example drills and pumps and other bits and pieces that are useful to finding resources, or you can use them to make these decorative bits and pieces. So I manufactured this tree and made this little patch of grass, and that's where you get the lanterns and things from. So I've tried to make this look like it's glowing by adding some of these echoes, and this is sort of the same idea over here. This thing here is just a portal to a different area, and you can see there's a little thumbnail of your destination. And this is the thing where you upgrade your pack, which is this thing. But I have upgraded as much as possible right now, so let's go over here. This is the thing that tells you the prices that all of the different plorts, which are the poops, are going for, and you can see how it can be a bit harder to differentiate, so the rock plorts from the crystal plorts, or you know, that kind of thing. I find the hunter and the dervish ones a bit harder to see at an instant which one they are. So you can keep an eye on this. Prices go up or down each day. There's a bit of daily variation regardless of what you're doing, but also you can affect the prices by if you sell a lot of one particular resource, the price will then fall because you're, you know, flooding the market. And then if you haven't, when I was putting a lot of plorts into the science side of things, into my refinery, then I ended up with a lot of price increases over here, because the rates were better, because I wasn't selling as many slimes. There is variation within that, but some people, I think, would probably want to maximise efficiency and hold on to resources. Oh, we've just turned to a new day, so midnight, it's reset. So yeah, you can see that, you know, some prices have gone up. The quantum plort is now slightly better value. These are worse. This one has gone down a bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to sell. I'm going to sell these. So you can see it instantly feeds the money into my new bucks wallet at the bottom left of the screen. Yeah, that's kind of a cool little mini game that you can engage with. Let's see what else. So this is my house, and you can see that I've tried to make the doorway really fancy, almost like a trellis of light around there, which is just quite cute. You can actually change the look of your house once you have access to this little station of chroma packs. So you can see that it's on the firecracker one at the moment, but I generally tend to have things set to Peapod, so I will install that, and you can see it's now a lovely green. Oh, cool. I'll show you where you can deal with the blueprint stuff in a moment, but let's go in here. So this is your character, it's Beatrix LeBeau, and what you can do is you can either sleep till morning, which can be useful if you are waiting out market stuff, or you just don't want to go out at night, you know, you've got something that needs doing, or you'd prefer to do in daylight where you're exploring. So there's also star mail, which is just stuff that turns up, and You don't send any, but it's the way that you start getting a sense of Beatrix's relationships outside of the game and her life, which is kind of really cool actually. It's really sweet. And this is the there's like an in-game corporation that you spend these bucks to upgrade your loyalty rank with them, and that can sometimes give you cool things. It's how you end up with the chroma, the colour change stuff for your vac pack and for the house and things like that. Anyway, I will sleep until morning. Return to ranch. Okay, cool. So, what else shall I show you? Okay, so if we go over here, we have... No! Where are my fire slimes? Have they died? Oh, that's really sad. So this is the incinerator, and I set it up so that it has this ash pit at the bottom, and that's where you can put the fire version of those puddle slimes. So they nibble on the ash around here and they generate fire plorts, and it's quite sweet. And then if they wander away, then they stop having their sustenance, and you are not, there's a time limit basically for how long they can be away from this stuff. So I'm guessing that they wandered off, which they don't usually do, and now I have no fire slimes. Very sad. Let me just replenish this. So the gardening stuff, it will grow your crop, whatever crop you've put in here, for a certain amount of time, and then it stops. So I'm just going to put one of those in there and take the rest through to the lab area. So you can see I've tried to do my kind of Christmas tree trick with the trees here. This used to be Tangle slimes, but then they ate everything in here because I left them to get hungry by accident, and they actually have these little tendrils that they can shoot out of where they currently are and start nibbling things that they can see nearby, which is annoying. These are, let me just replenish this. In here you have pink slimes crossed with quantum slimes. So quantum slimes are actually, they look a bit like pink slimes, but they are yellow and have this flickery effect. And their interesting but quite awkward to manage thing is that they, as sort of existing in a quantum state, they project these ghostly versions of themselves into locations other than where they currently are. And then if they, for example, if you're keeping them in here and they haven't got enough food and they start wanting to escape, then they can actually take the place of the ghost that they're projecting, so they can just slip out of the net even if you've properly hemmed them in. So you need to get back in there. Have I? Okay, fine. Where are you? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to pick up these and take them through to here. So this is the lab area. Here is where you buy blueprints for the things that you want to make. This is the refinery where you deposit the resources that you need to manufacture them, and then this is the manufacturing station where you actually create them. So let's look here. What have I got left? Okay, fashion pods. That could be cool, and I do have enough money. Let's do that. So over here you can see what you've actually got in the refinery. You can sort of start to see some of the resources that you get from external drilling and mining and pumping and beekeeping, things like that. I'm going to put the pink plorts and the phosphor plorts in because I tend to need them for what I'm doing. And then, yeah, you can see this isn't, I think that there's another tier of drill beyond this. Let's see what else we've got. So there's things like this, which is a defensive thing if you are prone to infestations of tars. I will try and show you those in a few moments. Just click to show you some things. Decorations. See, yeah, this is, I wish it was brighter. Why are you not brighter? Let's see. Yeah, and you can also just get some of the things that you see in particular regions of the world to have at home for some of your decorations. Might make a fire flower patch. So what was this? There's a clip-on fashion pod and a googly fashion pod. Need more indigonium or deep brine. Okay. They seem a bit happier. Up there you link back to the little grotto that I showed you, so it all interconnects, which is handy when you are wandering. I'm trying to think what else to show you. Looks quite cool though. Maybe I will show you the tar if I can, just so that you can see why you might want those water cannons. So, so this is one of the little things that you can manufacture that looks for resources, and useful. There's some deep brine for some of my projects. I'll get rid of that hen so that I can pick up the oil. So this is what the rock slimes look like before they hybridize. And this is one of those refinery links, so I can just pop these resources in without having to go all of the way back to base. Let's see what else I have. I might get lucky in terms of building the I think that should be more than enough brine, which is cool. Okay, so chances are... Oh. Hello. Chances are you will encounter tar for the first time when you create them by accident. So, you know how you can make a hybrid slime by feeding one type the poop from another type? If you have a third type and a hybrid eats a poop from that, then it sort of ends up as this awful monster. So let's see. Oh, there's one of the chicks. Hello. So cute. So I need either to feed one of these tabby pink things a rock poop, or feed a rock pink thing a tabby poop. So let's see who has produced what. There's nothing there, because they've all clearly eaten them. But you know what, I'm going to go over here. Okay, awesome. So this is one of the cat ones. So cute! best. Right, I just need a poop. Someone poop. Aha. Okay. Come on, rock slime. Oop. You gonna... Ah, there we go. So you see, you now have a tar, and it is going to attack all of the other slimes and leave these gross deposits everywhere. But you can get rid of them by blooping them with water. I think that one fell off the edge. Yay! Let's go back and I will try and make my little project, and then I think we are done. Oh, you are hungry. Okay, just feed you quickly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This one is a dervish crossed with a hunter, and so the dervish bit is the purple sort of Saturn ring around it, and it creates little whirlwinds. But the hunter thing is, it looks kind of like a little wolf or a cat or something, and it turns invisible and can pounce on things, which is so cute. Right. Vámonos. Was it decorations? No, curios. Okay. Yes! Exactly! Right, let's see. Fashion pods. So, how do I... So you press F1 to bring up all of your info, but I don't think... Let's see if it's a thing that I need to put down somewhere. So you press T to bring up the thing that places objects, new objects or decorations in the world. And so, okay, we've got a fashion pod. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Press T to get back into... Okay. Okay, cool. That's so cute. I'm guessing the other one just adds bow ties. Let's see. Who would be super cute? Oh, I wonder if you can put them on the hens. That would be so awesome. Or the puddle ones. Oh, so cute. Right. Can I? No. Fine. Let him. Hello, friends. Oops. Oh! Best! Oops. Oh, so cute. Right, I need to feed these guys, but I think that is probably everything that I will show you at the moment, because the rest would just be taking you on an entire tour of the world. But yes, so say goodbye, hens. Bye!